What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Coming at you with a lighter subject today. I wanted to do a movie review. So, I am such a big horror movie fan. Always have been, man. I actually went to school briefly because I wanted to write and direct horror movies and ended up dropping out. But I'm a huge horror buff and I watch a lot of horror YouTube reviewers on here like Cody Leach and 3C and um, Cinema Sins and like I guess he's not really a horror movie, but like I like movie review channels and anyway, I have seen people rave about Terrifier for the last 10 years, or fucking, that's what it feels like. And so I've never got around to checking it out. I don't really watch movies anymore. I honestly think we're going in the way of short range content, like short form content. I think we have done every idea. Like, look at every movie that came out this year. Everything was a sequel except for whatever bullshit Blumhouse is pumping out. Um, anyway, finally got around to Terrifier and thought I would give my review on it. And I did not like it. I did not like it at fucking all. You guys had me fooled. You had me thinking that I was about to watch some new classic. Maybe it gets better, but I did not like it. It was poorly acted. The story didn't make sense. As a matter of fact, I took notes. And look, I get that it's a low production movie, okay? You gotta start somewhere. Maybe the second one's better. I'm gonna watch the second one. This is gonna be a two-part video. And, look, I get low production issues. I get not being able to hire, a fucking Oscar cast or whatever and not having the best equipment. And they did do a hell of a job with the practical effects. I'll give that to them. The gore, the carnage candy, it's good. They made kills look good in here. That's for sure. It is a bloody movie. But if that's the only thing that's good about your movie, man, you don't really have much of a movie. Okay? It was a very horribly acted movie. I think it was a very horribly written movie. There's not really a story. It's just art killing people. Which I guess you could say is all slasher flicks, really. Is just the person killing people. But like I said, this is a first of a trilogy, so like surely we're going in a direction, right? My opinion should turn around some more. But as far as the story goes, it's a story we've seen a million times before, and it had nothing to be unique. There was nothing unique about it except Art himself, and I guess his method of killing. I guess if you want to talk about the brutality of it, like, I don't know, other movies have been brutal. Like, there was nothing that unique about it to me. Everybody keeps fucking acting, praising like it's the goriest movie ever. And I've seen some shit, okay? And it's, like, yeah, there are some gory kills in here. The classic cut in half scene. No, I didn't let her watch it, if you're wondering. I'm not gonna care when she gets a little bit older. My mom let me watch horror movies, but I didn't want her first horror movie to be Terrifier. So, no, I didn't let her watch it. But I actually thought the kill where he stabs dude in the head and then cuts his head off. I actually thought that kill was better than the chop in half scene. As far as practical effects go, the chop in half scene once he gets down to her chest. First of all, she would be dead by the time he gets to the stomach. So the fact that she's still screaming when he gets to right here with the saw is like, yeah, okay. And then you can obviously tell it becomes a mannequin at one point. I think practically effect-wise, like when the chick had her chest cut off, like you could literally see the silicone, like practical effect-wise, that was the best kill. that looked real as fuck. And I mean, the eye gouging in the beginning did too. Like, really good practical effects. There are a couple, I'll let it go. This is low hanging fruit. It's a small, low budget, but it hits every horror cliche ever. And that's my problem with it. It does nothing to be unique. It's not unique. Art is a unique killer, I guess, since he's a mime. We've never seen a mime kill before, so that's unique, I suppose. But the movie did nothing, in my opinion, to shake up the slasher genre. There's no reason why. Like, I took some notes here. Let's look at what I wrote here. Who the fuck? So when they're listening on the radio, right? Okay, I'll just go over the movie. We'll just go over the movie, start to finish. Opens up, you got the interview, right? You got the TV showing an interview, and a girl with no face is giving an interview, right? And then this, after the interview, this bitch that interviewed her is sitting here saying really horrible things about the woman that she just interviewed. And then she gets her eyes gouged out by the faceless woman that she interviewed, which we'll get there, but I'm wondering, like, did she go to like, anyway. Okay, so cut to, now we're following these two girls that we know nothing about other than they're drunk and they're bad actresses. First of all, becoming a parent is weird. It's hard for me to watch fucking slasher films anymore and to watch women get brutalized. Like, it's so weird. Like, I posted a Facebook post about, like, one rant one day about, like, how, for whatever reason, just watching a horror movie since becoming a parent, like, hits different. I don't know. Anyway, but, so, yeah, we're following these two women, and they're drunk leaving a bar, I guess, and they get to their car and they see Art the Clown, and he's out there fucking dragging a trash bag that's obviously got body parts in it, and they see her, he creeps her out, and they decide they're too drunk to drive, so they go eat at this pizza joint. Art the Clown comes into the pizza joint, sits there, the blonde goes over and flirts with them, the dark-haired, emo-depressed girl doesn't like his vibes, cause fucking clearly, and just the whole dialogue, like, just the dialogue sucks. It's not creative, it's not well acted, the lines they were given suck, so of course it's not gonna be well acted, like, just the dialogue sucked. There was no memorable, like, everything that came out of the blonde's mouth was just like, I don't know, man. She was a really stupid character, and then the other girl, like, just the most basic, plain dialogue ever. Anyway, fucking Art gets kicked out of the pizza joint because he did something nasty in the bathroom or whatever, and then they go out, and then this girl's in the car talking about how creeped out she was by Art, and then proceeds to need to pee, and oh yeah, they go to the car and it's got a flat tire now, because obviously, who did that? I wonder. Not the creepy makeup guy. You don't think that's what they're sitting there talking about. Like, obviously, it's the creepy makeup guy that's been fucking with you for the last 10 minutes. Duh. But whatever. We get into the car, and then the girl's talking about how freaked out she is, and, going over that, and then says she needs to pee, and then immediately goes into this stranger's house, weird fucking mansion place to pee. Like, immediately goes from, I'm scared, what if this guy's a serial killer? Oh yeah, hey random stranger, can I use your bathroom? Boom, logic. Anyway, and then so, that's how we split up the characters. I'm sorry, but if you have to use every horror cliche and to write poorly to make your movie happen, it's not a good movie. And this is how the movie is written the entire time. So, she goes and pees. The blonde's now alone in the car. What do you think's going to happen to the blonde now that she's alone? And here's something I wanted to take my first note of. She hears on the radio that the pizza joint she was just at, that the two got murdered, right? And she's like, no fucking way. I couldn't help but notice that she was listening to AM channel 710. Who the fuck listens to AM radio? There is no logic. There is no reason this woman was on 710 AM. I don't know why that irritated me so much, but just the convenience for her to be on an AM radio station to hear this news, that would never happen. Nobody ever listens to AM. Like, why did you even have to show AM? Just make it a regular FM channel. Like, I don't know. That was silly to me. And then you got every fucking horror trope ever, you know? You got the guy sitting there with the headphones in, so when the girls are screaming behind him, because inevitably the girl that, you know, goes into the creepy mansion ends up fucking, hey, there's a creepy guy there, so guys that is supposed to be treating the place for rats, and he's there with his earbuds on, not listening to everything. We've seen that 1,000 times before. And then he gets told eventually that there's a killer, and he doesn't believe her. We've done that 1,000 times before. And then there's this weird fucking cat lady that, like, has, like, this baby that she's clearly she lost a kid, and they made a reference to an 8-year-old being microwaved, which I think was a reference to her. Anyway, she has a baby doll, and she's clearly pretending that it's a baby, and she, I guess, lives in this fucking mansion and knows art exists, and I don't know, her existence in this movie makes zero fucking sense, other than to show that Art's a bitch with mommy issues, unless he was just pretending. Anyway, because there's a scene, like, alright, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so, yeah, girl goes in to pee, other girl gets kidnapped, then next thing you know, she comes out to pee, Mike gets knocked out, and then fucking Art, Mike doesn't get knocked out, he's got his headphones in, and while she's screaming, Art knocks her out, and of course he doesn't hear her, because he's got earbuds in. Whatever. Okay, now she wakes up, we're in a chair, it's the famous scene. Girl gets cut in half, you know, from her privates down. It's pretty disgusting. It's pretty brutal. I'll give it that. It's brutal. It's a brutal kill. Is that it? Is that all you want your movie to be? Is that it? Is that all you want me to say? Like, your kills were brutal, which is nice. I guess, like, at the end of the day, if you're watching a movie that's no good, if you make the kills worth it, that's cool. But I guess I'm just at the point where I've seen enough horror films, man, that, like, you gotta give me more. Like, yes, the kills were nice. It was bloody. It looked real. Y'all did a great job with the budget you have with the practical effects. Impressive. But if you give me characters I don't care about, and you give me every horror trope that's been used 1,000 times over, and horrible dialogue, and poor writing, I don't care, dude. I don't care how cool you can make your kills or how many of them you can fit in a movie. That's a literal, from a filmmaking standpoint, bad movie. Like, I just didn't like it. Alright, so you get the girl, she gets split in half. Like I said, she screams until he gets, like, down to here. Like, she would be done of blood loss by the time her intestines fell out. Like, anyway. And then it's obviously a mannequin whenever it gets to her head. Brutal ass scene. And then I forget what happened. Oh yeah, girl gets out of the chair, fucking hits clock. Yeah, that's something I wrote down. She fucking hits dude on the ground and then stabs him once and runs away. That, out of all the horror tropes in the world, is my least favorite one. Stabbing or hitting the bad guy one time, then running away. You notice how the bad guy doesn't stop when he's hitting you guys? He keeps going until the brains are on the floor. That's what you're supposed to do to him. Or he's gonna do that to you. Why would you stab him once and run away? Keep fucking going until there's nothing left. You just watched him saw your friend in half in the worst possible way. And you're gonna stab him once and run away. Yep, I'm sure that'll kill him. Anyway. And then, yeah, so she gets away for a second. And then he basically kills her. He kills the bitch, which I thought was a weird decision. You're killing off the two people we've been following. So, like, not only was there no character development whatsoever, but now they're dead, and now come in the sister. who I guess we're supposed to root for because instead of being a party girl, she's going to college. So that means I'm automatically supposed to care about her more, even though we're just now getting her in the movie. Fuck that noise. Like that, I think the decision to kill off the main character we've been following halfway through the movie was dumb. And then now we got this new final girl that we've been with. And then at some point, Mike got hit in the head with the hammer, and while he was doing so, he called his buddy to come over. And he does, and then that's when we get the cool fucking... He, like, stabs him through his head and then saws off his head. I think that scene was better than the cut in half scene, to be honest. Like, honestly, yeah, that was probably my favorite scene of the movie. That was sick. It looked really real. It was brutal. It was gross. It was like Faces of Death 2. That scene where I doubt anybody watching this movie has ever seen that movie, Faces of Death, but they have Faces of Death 2, and there's a scene where, like, it's back in the olden times, and dude goes to guillotine dude, and, like, you would expect, you know, the sword to go through the head the first time, but it doesn't, and it's grisly, and it reminded me of that, how grisly that and realistic that was looking. So that was good. I'm sorry, I'm fumbling over my words. I ate a gummy, and I am a little bit buzzed right now, so I'm doing the best I can to stay on track. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, all right. So there's the weird girl that, you know, has the pretend baby, and then she, after Art shoots the fucking main girl that we've been following in the face, is like, "Have you no mercy? Have you ever had a mother's love or something?" And then the face he makes whenever she asks that just made me laugh. Like, nope, clearly not. That's gonna be a no for me, dog. I never got that. And then he sucks his thumb and, like, lets her rub his head. But I don't know if he was acting or if he really is just like a baby back bitch with mommy issues, and that's why he does this. But anyway, cut to, for somehow her boobs are now cut off and her scalp is cut off, and he's wearing a wig, and the sister gets there and he hears screaming. She hears screaming, thinks that it's, you know, her sister, but it's actually the girl. But she thinks Art's the girl since she has her hair cut off, so that's how he gets the upper hand on her. Like, he basically cut this girl's scalp off and put it on his. And literally cut her... You pooped, didn't you? Literally cut her chest off and put it on his. So, like, that was his way of fooling her, I guess, and getting the upper hand. Oh, hold on a second. The other girl that got shot in the face, she was beating the shit out of Art with wood right before she got shot, right before she got killed off. And she literally had him down, and when she hits him in the stomach, I think Art's acting is so bad, no offense, but, like, I literally thought he was faking being in pain. Like, he's a mime, so, like, for a second there, I thought that was the point, that, like, he's pretending to be in pain when he got hit in the stomach. Like, but no, he's actually trying to act like he was in pain, and I thought his acting was especially bad there. But she gets him down with the wood and says, "Get up," and then he pulls out a gun and shoots her, which, cheating. Okay, fuck you, cheater. Anyway, why would you tell him to get up? You got the up, this is the second time now. You've stabbed him and ran off. Now you have him down with wood. You could be bashing in his brains. And you're telling him to get up as if he hasn't been whooping your ass. And, okay, then get shot in the face. Alright, had a hard time feeling sorry for you. You literally let him do it. Anyway, so now we're at, where were we? We were at the chick. The sister gets there. Fucking turns out Mike's a badass. And while he gets the upper hand on the other girl, Mike, who got knocked out with the hammer and called dude to come there that got his head cut off, comes and knocks out Art. Notice how I say knocks out. He knocks out Art, grabs the girl, and leaves. And, oh yeah, there's a part where fucking the sister discovers her sister's dead body, and like she's sitting there saying like, look at me, you can't be dead, in sheer denial, but like the acting's so bad and her sister is so fucking dead that like there there's like no there she ain't gonna look at you, dude. But like my problem with this scene is that she just sits there for 20 seconds while Art slowly sneaks up on her. Like, nobody would ever do that, dude. Like, yes, you would be mourning the loss and seeing that, like, but you wouldn't be just sitting there unaware of your surroundings, not thinking about that. Like, that was such a stupid, horribly acted scene to me that just made no sense. That she's sitting there, look at me, even though you have no eyes. Look at me, you can't be dead. I'm gonna sit here and not turn around for a total of 30 seconds while Art walks slowly to me. That was fucking dumb. Anyway, had to throw that part in there. Mike comes and saves the day, knocks out Art, grabs her, and they get into the next room. Notice how I say knocks out. Every character hits Art and gets him down and then doesn't keep going. And I fucking hate that. Find a different way to continue your movie. If you're writing your shit and it's, okay, good guy hits bad guy falls on ground, good guy leave, bad guy come back. Dude, come on, man. Did you write that in red crayon? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Nobody in the world would see somebody get sawed in half or see 4 people murdered and then just hit this guy once and leave. You would keep going. And this is the 3rd time now Art has been knocked down and you just leave him laying there. Mike should have kept going. I literally wrote that in here. Mike should have kept going. And Tara, look at me, because that was just funny. I'm sorry. She has no eyes. And you're saying, Tara, look at me. What the fuck, man? Like, I understand denial, but the whole she would think. You got to turn your brain off to enjoy this movie. I'm sorry. And if you got to do that, I can't do that. I'm sorry. You guys have been raving about these movies like they have been the best things that have came out since Saw. Like it's a new fucking franchise. The best, like, new, no. I do have another movie to watch, which I heard was better and gets into more of the meat. So I'm interested in it. I'm not judging the whole trilogy. I'm just giving my opinion on the first movie so far. Shit. Dog shit. Cool kills. Dog shit script. Dog shit dialogue. Dog shit setups. Dog shit loopholes. Dog shit fucking tropes. Everything that we see in this movie has been done 1,000 times. Every single scene. Except the kills. And I'm sorry, but I can't say that it's a good movie when that's the only thing that changes is the kills. Gives me something else. Give me smarter characters. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Mike leaves. They call 911 because there's just a random fucking phone in the room that they're in. Like an old fucking timey phone hooked up to a wall. Like, not one hanging on a wall, but like, one of the click ones. But like, for whatever reason it works. They call the police and then they focus on finding a way out, which I don't know. Yes, I think calling the police was the right move, but at the same time, I feel like you should have been trying to get out. And then they, call the police, they get into the hallway, and then, they get to a locked door, and then Art sneaks up behind and kills Mike. And notice how Art doesn't stop on Mike. I just fucking hate that so much. Good guy hit bad guy once. Bad guy hit good guy until he dies. Like, just the logic. Nobody would ever watch somebody commit all these murders and then only hit him once. But yes, unlike Mike, Art keeps going and kicks him and kicks him and kicks him until his fucking face is caved in. Which is exactly what Mike should have done to him. I was rooting for you, Mike. My boy Mike, horrible actor, but I was rooting for him. He was my favorite character in the movie, even though he was really stupid when he was told, like, he got told that there was a killer downstairs. He's like, what? What are you talking about? Shoves woman down. You're crazy. The classic trope of, no, I don't believe you. Literally every trope is in this movie. Now, this is low-hanging fruit. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just giving my honest fucking opinion here, dude. Like, you guys want to talk this shit up like it's a fucking classic, I'm going to give you the facts. But, look, if you go back and watch the original Saw, it's got its issues too, okay? Like, I ain't knocking it. If you enjoyed it, cool. I'm just saying, I personally, I'm looking forward to the second and the third one because I heard it gets better. And, like, this was obviously just supposed to be a showcase of Art the character. But anyway, Mike gets knocked out the entire time that they're fighting. So Art cave stomps in dude's face, and then he's slowly walking towards her in the hallway, and she's hitting the lock with like a pipe or a piece of wood, and at one part, it looks like she's barely fucking trying, dude. I wrote down hit it a little bit harder because it barely looks like she's trying. And the whole time, she knows Art is behind her, walking towards her, and does not turn around at any point. And what do you think happens? Oh, the lock comes off, but Art gets her. But, oh, she pokes him in the eyes and gets the upper hand and gets out of the room. Like, just the most, like, obviously that's how that was gonna go. And, like, and then finally, we get to the conclusion of the movie where she gets out of the building and gets back in it. I repeat, gets out of the building and then goes back in it where it says keep out. It's like that Geico commercial where they're making fun of horror movies and they're like, maybe we should hide in the fucking garage with the chainsaws, you know, like that type of shit. Head to the cemetery, they say at the end of it. Yeah. Then she goes back inside. She hears sirens, so she thinks it's the cops they called. And then Art, she's in a garage, and then sees that Art's in a truck and driving it straight at her. Does she dart left? Does she dart right? No. She just sits here and watches the car come straight at her, even though it's a good fucking 10 yards away. Like, you would have absolutely had time to move, and garages are big. It's not like garages are just the size of the car. You got enough room to get to either side. She just didn't fucking move. So he hits her with the car. The police show up. He's sitting here eating her face, and now it's starting to look like he's got some supernatural element to him. What's wrong? I'll get you a bubble in a second. And, yeah, the police shoot him. And, no. The police get there. He's sitting there eating her face, and then the police tell him to get his hands up, and then Art shoots himself in the head. But we as the viewer knows that something weird is afoot. Anyway, he shoots himself in the head, and then the police called and take his body to the morgue, and then there's a flash of lights, and now Art's back alive somehow. And then the girl actually ends up surviving, and then it shows 1 year later that, oh, this girl was in fact the girl in the beginning that had no face. Like, no fucking shit. Duh. Obviously. But now, like, did she just get away with murdering that girl in the beginning? That makes no sense. Like, that was no twist. Jesus Christ. Like, that was a horror trope in itself. Oh, no, it was the girl from the beginning. Like, did you really think you were telling me a new story after showing me that shit? Like, just not a well-written movie. The only good thing about it were the fucking kills. And, like, look, I can appreciate some good kills. I can. I love me some kills. But, no. I'm not convinced yet that this is a horror icon. Now, I'm gonna go watch the second one. I'm gonna put my second review on here, but not meaning to be so mean, but that's why I haven't been watching movies lately. Like, anything that's been coming out, like, I'm such a picky movie watcher. What impresses me is very rare. And, I have not seen a commercial of anything lately that has made me want to watch movies. I mean, we're out of ideas. We've done every idea over and over and over. You know what I mean? Any fucking idea you could ever have, we have made into a movie. That's why everything's sequels. So, I just mainly watch YouTube. And, anyway, I'm gonna go give the second one a shot. Because I hear it gets better. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm giving the first Terrifier a 3 out of 10. Anyway. Yeah, 3 out of 10 feels fair. You get 3 for the practical effects. If the kills weren't good, this would be a fucking 0.5 out of 10 to me. But you saved it with the kills. Yes, it's bloody, but that doesn't make it an amazing movie. Art did a good job. He did a good job at being creepy and acting strange and being weird. But anyway, I'm gonna go watch the second one. What's up? Sorry, little one needed to get a diaper change and a bottle fill up. So, what's up, guys? Every time I'm saying that, she's trying to say it. She doesn't know words yet, obviously, but I'm trying every day to teach her a little. And every time I say "What's up, guys," she seems like she's mimicking that. Anyway, I'm sorry the video just abruptly ended. What I was trying to say before I end the first review is, like, look, when Michael Myers first came out, when Halloween came out, you could make the same arguments. I mean, not really about the, I don't know, really you can't, because the dialogue in Mike is pretty good, the acting was pretty decent in Halloween, but there were a lot of horror movie tropes. And that's the thing, is that back then it was new, and now, I don't know, I just feel like you can't do the same thing 1,000 times over. You know, you can't become a classic like Halloween by doing the exact same things and doing the exact same horror tropes. You gotta do something to be unique. And if the uniqueness is how brutal the kills are, then I don't know, like, yeah, that's cool, but you still need to have a movie. You need to have a cohesive story and at least attempt at acting and fucking, like, it was a lazily written movie, I'm sorry. And whenever Terrifier 2 came out, there was so much hype about it. So much fucking hype about it, that I thought that the first one must be amazing. And so far, I'm pretty damn disappointed. The second one is 2.5 hours fucking long, so I don't know if I'm gonna get around to part 2 of reviewing it tonight, but I'm definitely gonna try watching it. Yeah, no. First one, 3 out of 10 for me, dude. What a fucking joke. And Art over here sucking his thumb. Fucking insecure baby bitch with mama issues. I don't even know why you chose to show that scene, honestly. Like, just take that out, and it really serves no purpose other than to maybe show that he didn't have a mother's love, I guess. Which makes him look weaker. So, like, I don't... Whatever, man. Like, I didn't like it. Every character made stupid decisions. Art could have been killed 3 different fucking times. You gave me characters that I didn't care about, killed him halfway through the movie, then gave me a character that I didn't care about. She made dumb decisions. Like, just, yeah, same thing that's been done 1,000 times over. You just had practically good effects and good kills. That's what stood out. And, like, I'm down for some bad horror movies that have some great kills. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm down for that. But, like, from an actual, like, would I go out and buy this next Friday night? Am I looking to watch this? Absolutely not. I do not think it was that good. There are a lot better horror movies out there. But we're going to go give the second one a shot. That, you know, and this is just my opinion. You know, if you like it, great for you. I'm not fucking, you know, no beef with that. I'm just giving my take on it, you know. Maybe you find it good, bad. I think the acting is just horrible. But then again, I don't know, man. It's one of those that you need to shut your brain off. And that's fine, but I like movies where I don't have to fucking throw all logic out the window all the time. You know, I like movies, but whatever. I think CinemaSins is such a good idea. That his channel is such a good idea. I actually had a very similar idea, and then I seen his channel existed. Just going through and picking out everything, anything that doesn't logically make sense. Like, that's exactly how I am. So, anyway, on to the second one. Thanks for watching. All right. Well, we got that movie down. That was 2.5 hours of my life spent. How did I feel about Terrifier 2? I think it was better than the first one. I I don't get it. I don't think it was that good. Like, all right. So, I'll just walk through it and I'll just, give my thoughts on it. So, we start off with another family, and apparently it's 1 year later since the last one. And it opens up with him, I think, killing the dude at the morgue from the beginning, and then fast forwards to 1 year later, and now we got a new family. Sienna, her brother, and her mother. And, dude, I really couldn't give you a lot of detail. Like, it was way too long. It was way too long. They did a good job at character development and making me understand the first one better. I will say that. Like, the first one was meant to exist just for the clown to exist, just to show him. The characters weren't important, they were irrelevant. It was to get to this movie, to set this up. So it makes me understand and appreciate the first one a little more for what it is, I suppose. It doesn't make up for bad dialogue and every fucking horror movie trope ever, but whatever. I can understand the lack of character development and why the movie was the way it was. It was setting this up. I get that now. This movie did do a good job of making me care about its characters, especially the main, final girl, Sienna. I just don't think art's that scary. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm probably going to catch shit for it, but I just don't. I feel like if you're a man, you got a 99% chance at beating his ass. I almost feel like Damien beats women behind closed doors. I'm going to catch flack for saying that, but it's just the fucking truth. Every guy gets a quick death, and every woman gets a prolonged death past what the human body can stand. Take a simple fucking anatomy class. That bedroom scene would never happen like that. First of all, you can't rip off an arm like that. Second of all, if you rip off a woman's scalp, rip off her arm, split her other arm down the middle, she's going to die of shock. Probably within minutes. Like, I don't even think you're making it to the second arm, to be honest. Like, and to keep the victim alive just so they can get tortured more takes me out of the kill, because there is no way that bedroom scene that girl would still be alive for her mom to come in and then die. Like, no, like, even by the time he grabs the salt and rubs it in her wounds, like, she would be dead. You would go into shock and die. So it shows either ignorance when it comes to how the human body works, or it's just mean-spirited and you're keeping the person alive just to torture them, basically. And that takes me out of the kill. Start small, Like, I feel like William Butcher could kick Art the Clown's ass, to be honest with you. Like, that's how I feel about Art the Clown. Like, I know that's gonna be a fucking hot take there, but, like, straight up. Like, you literally have a scene where a dude gets his dick cut off, and that's it. He's left there screaming on the pavement, and that's it. We never go back to him again. I don't know if he died. I don't know if he died of blood loss. I'm assuming so, that you would just bleed out. But, like, of course, the guy gets the 1 second cut dick off. Now he's left there screaming. Now, let's get back to torturing. Like, and then the very next scene is a prolonged woman torture scene. I noticed shit like that, and I don't know, dude. Like, if you look at Harvey Weinstein's movies and shit, like, there's little hints there, I'm just saying, not to be not to be that guy, but like the fact that the male deaths are pretty quick and then the female deaths are dragged the fuck out, it kind of seems like you're living out some sick I want to kill a woman fantasy, to be honest with you. Would not be surprised one bit if some shit came out that Damien beat women. Anyway, getting past that, I can't. It's basically just another horror movie, man. Like, it's a family. They got their problems. They get killed off one by one. I don't really even know how to walk you through it because it really is just another fucking horror movie. The only difference is it has gruesome deaths. But the bedroom one that everybody hails is like the best death scene ever. It was just too unbelievable to me because you would not like. It was brutal, yeah. It was visually insane. But like, that's all you got. It seems like that's all you got is just showing brutality. And if that's all you got, then. And then, yeah, I guess Terrifier 3, you're edgy because you killed a kid. Whoa, 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 horror gods. Slow down, you killed a kid, that automatically makes you good at making horror movies. Like, you gotta do something other than just be as brutal as possible. I can think of a million different ways to kill people, way more brutal than anything on in that movie. But you gotta make it realistic, you know? And like it just wasn't. That bedroom scene just wasn't realistic. That bitch would have died of a heart attack, of shock, way before she ever did. Same with in the first one with the chick that got cut down the middle. She's still screaming by the time the saw makes it here. No, dude, she would be dead. Or the fucking the shop owner. Like, that gets stabbed in that's a guy death, but that one's also pretty fucking quick. Just cuts his head off, basically. But he puts a hatchet into his head, then takes it, then cuts his head off. After he puts the hatchet in his head, the guy is still alive until his head is cut off. He would be dead, dude. Like, the second that hatchet enters his brain, you're done. You're a goner, you know? And nope, somehow he's still alive for the head chopping off. Like, come up with creative ways to kill your victims. Make them brutal, but make them believable. Like, a person isn't going to live getting sawed all the way up to here. A person isn't going to live through getting an arm, leg, their face ripped off, scalp ripped off. Like, you're basically just compiling a bunch of shit I've already seen into one scene. That's all it is. I've seen legs get ripped off before. I've seen all the shit. You're just combining it into one kill. And then somehow keeping the victim alive way past that they would ever live past. Just to rub literally salt in the wound. And that feels either ignorant or mean-spirited. And I don't like either option. Like, take an anatomy class, Damien. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. You would not live that long. I'm telling you. Start slow. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah, you got the family, you meet the family members. They start seeing weird shit. She's got a weird fucking dream, and her Halloween costume catches on fire at night, even though she has candles underneath it that she blew out, and she knows she blew out. Somehow her dream caused the fire, and I guess her dad has this scrapbook, and he like slowly lost his mind and drew all these images and drew basically the premonitions of everything that was going to happen, and Sienna was destined to be the one to stop Art the Clown. I'm trying to figure out the rules of this universe. Like, Art is clearly a supernatural creature. He's clearly something, you know, like, but with the way Sienna, like, so yeah. That happens, we get a weird dream sequence, which I put in my notes here. You could have just taken out, but now I understand why it exists. It's to catch the flames on fire, but the whole dream sequence was just a fucking waste. Oh yeah, I wrote down something petty. Whenever they're sitting there talking about like the brother being weird and maybe being a killer, the mom's like, "Well, he lost his father." It's like, "Yeah, well, okay." Like that excuses being a weirdo and being obsessed with serial killers. The mom is really dumb in this. Like, I don't like the mom. Like, they try to almost like make you feel bad for her because she is dealing with a lot. She's a single mom. She's dealt with the death of her husband. She's got 2 kids at a difficult age, but at the same time, she is being kind of a bitch. Like, you know, like the son's trying to show her the sketches and show her what's happening, and she won't even look at it. Like, do you not see? Like, there's literally a picture of the guy that committed a mass murder a year ago in your husband's notebook, and you don't think that that's weird when your son's trying to show that to you? Fuck that horror trope. And yeah, I thought she was kind of a bitch for that. And then the son calls her a bitch because she rips up the scrapbook, which is basically the last of their dad's memories, so it is kind of a bitchy move. And the son calls her a bitch, and then she slaps him, and then he runs away. That's the last thing he ever says to her mother. Yeah, Sienna never finds out that her mother's dead, by the way. That's, like, something that she never finds out unless... Like, there's a lot of confusing scenes in it. Like, so where are we at? She has the dream. She starts feeling anxiety, starts seeing Art the Clown, and Art the Clown is seeing this other little girl who I guess got killed at the hands of Art the Clown. She, by the way, looks bad fucking ass. I think the little girl looks... I think she looks fucking scarier than Art the Clown could ever look. I think the little girl looks badass. Dude, I would totally love to dress her up as that for Halloween. If we ever go out, that would be cool. But yeah, the little girl looked cool. But apparently she had been cut to pieces in a park by Art the Clown and somehow now exists in the spirit realm and is helping Art the Clown. Again, they don't do a very good job at like answering these things, which I can appreciate if you're leaving for the next movies to answer, but like, come on, you gotta make it make a little sense. Like, I don't understand how, like, alright, so we get to the shop, and I had to take down a couple notes about the shop scene. We get to the Halloween shop where she, you know, her wings got burnt up, so she's shopping for some new cheap-ass wings. By the way, the lead actress in this is so fucking gorgeous. Probably the most gorgeous woman I have ever seen. And I thought I dated the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in high school. But this woman is gorgeous. Not that it makes a fucking difference, but the lead actress in this, she is beautiful. Anyway, so she sees Art the Clown in this shop and is spooked by him, and then goes upstairs and is paying for the wings, and then she's like, I must have left my purse downstairs. And then Art slams it on the counter in front of the clerk. And then whatever. And then he, like, goes to this little sunglass section to start trying on sunglasses. And clearly starts fucking with her. The shop owner sees it. Gets on to him about it. And then is like, here, let me go to the back. I'm gonna leave you with this weirdo. And then, like, everything about the shop scene bothered me. Like, I'm gonna leave you with this weirdo that's clearly fucking with you, and then when he comes back, like, Art's, like, in her face fucking with her, surprise, surprise, and then Art lets her leave, she buys the wings and leaves, and then Art locks the door and then murders the shop owner in the dumbest possible way. The shop owner is literally standing there waiting for Art to pay for an item because he's going to pay for a horn. And he literally just slowly starts laying all the murder weapons on the table that he's going to murder this guy with. And the guy does what? What any human would do. He just stands there staring at it and refuses to fucking grab any of it and use it on Art himself or have any situational awareness. Like, I just can't buy that a character would be that stupid. Like, he just laid down a fucking chain, a rusty hatchet, some fucking plier. Like, take that hatchet, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? The second you lay that in front of me, that tetanus-filled hatchet, I'm grabbing it from you and either making sure you're not using it on me or I'm using it on you. Like, and this guy just slowly watches it. Like, I knew exactly what was going to happen. He sets out the beer bottle. I knew exactly what was going to happen. He was going to hit him over the head with the beer bottle. And then fucking, I seen it all. Like, I don't know, man. And then, like I said, the kill, it was just that. Hit him over with the fucking glass bottle, drags him, hits him in the head with the hatchet, gouges, and then fucking chops his head off. And this was the only part that I think the practical effects were bad on. Because when he goes to put the hatchet in his head, you can immediately tell when it becomes a fake head. Or fucking, like, you can immediately tell when they cut to either make the makeup. Like, I don't know if it was a fake head or if it's prosthetics and makeup or what, but you can immediately tell they cut and change, and you'll see what I mean by, like, the way that, like, I know it's supposed to be the guy dying, he's going limp, that's why it suddenly changes, but you can see it's a cut. The practical effects in that moment did not look that great to me, but for the rest of the film, they look spectacular, actually. But yeah, so he kills the shop owner, and then next is her friend and her mother, and that's when we get the bedroom scene. And the bedroom scene, I grew up watching Saw, man. I love gory shit. The bedroom scene just felt mean. Like, it was like, I'm gonna, like, I can't even recall all the shit he did to her, and the fact that she somehow lived through all that is like I said, is either mean-spirited or ignorance. Like, don't insult my intelligence, man. A person wouldn't live through all that. Like, he starts off by, like, scalping her head, completely takes off the top of her head to where her brain's exposed, then fucking breaks her arm like 4 different ways and then pulls it straight off of her because that's how physics works. So now she's armless, grabs her other 2 fingers right here, breaks her arm down the middle, and then I don't even fucking remember from that point on. Like, leaves and then pours salt all over the wounds and rips off her face. And then we get a cut to where her mom finds her and she's got, like, bites taken out of her leg and her legs taken off. And she's still alive. It's like, do you have any understanding of the human body at all, Damien? Take a fucking class. Because that immediately takes me out of the kill. Like, make it brutal. I can appreciate the carnage candy, but, like, fucking make it believable, man. Like, there is no way the bitch would have fucking lived through all that. There is absolutely no way. And whenever you make each kill prolonged on a woman, but each guy scene is a simple head cut off, even when Art the Clown got fucking killed in the end, it was just a quick head cut off, and they're quick edits that barely even showed it. But whenever it's a woman, it's slow as fuck and dragged out as possible. That shit gives me red flags, just saying. Yeah, so you go the bedroom scene, then the mom shows up, sees her there, and then the girl says mom and then dies, perfectly timed. The fuck ever. No, she would have died before the salt ever even came into it. Anyway, and then I guess he kills the mom and uses her head as a fucking candy bowl, which I did find funny, and gives it to children, and they genuinely think it's a Halloween decoration. And then slaps their hand and says One Piece. That part did make me giggle. Like, Art does a very good job in here, and they do a good job at expanding the lore and the world and the character development. Like, all the complaints I have in the first one are gone here. You got better acting, you got a better story, you got better character development. Like, it's a better movie. It is. It's just, like, I don't see the obsession with it. I guess maybe because it's just been so long since we've had a new, unique killer, you know? Like, Ghostface or Michael Myers or Jigsaw. Like, it's been so long since we've had a new one, you know, have a resurgence. But I just don't know if I would put Art in that category. I mean, he's brutal as fuck, but like I said, I feel like Billy Butcher would kick his ass. I feel like Jason, Michael, or Freddy would kick his ass. Like, I don't know, man. He gets his ass kicked kind of a bit. Like, he's not that strong or good at fighting. Like, he's just, I don't know. I don't think he's that scary. It is totally creepy that the whole mind thing, that he's quiet and he acts very well. The actor does a very good job. But I don't know. I would give this one a 5 out of 10, honestly. The other one, last one, was a 3. This one's a 5. Like, it's nothing I would reach for. I think a lot of that has to do with how long it is. It's too fucking long. It's 2.5 hours long, dude. Like, and I get it, you know, a lot of it was building up the character, and they did a lot of better, like, tension building, but the pacing got weird, and, like, the second half, like, the beginning, it was doing a really good job at building the character and building the tension, and then all of a sudden you would have a kill here, and then back to slowness, and then kill, like, the pacing was a little weird in this movie, and you could feel the 2.5 hours, in my opinion. Cody Leach said the opposite, that it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. I highly disagree. I felt it. I was bored by the end, and like I kind of seen the direction it was headed. Like, I didn't know how or where, but I figured Sienna would win. And oh yeah, so yeah, we get to where, you know, Art kills Sienna's mother, and now he's coming for them too. And somehow the little girl that's with Art can actually communicate and sound exactly like Sienna's brother, and calls her to have her meet her at this park. And her friend at this party spikes her with Molly. If your friend spikes you with Molly, find a new friend, because that's a bad friend. Don't let your friend randomly spike your drinks. That's shitty. And then she has a panic attack because she's seeing the girl. And then the bitch of a friend only cares about her fucking self and the fact she had to leave the party, and is screaming at the person who just had a panic attack. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry you had to watch this girl have a panic attack. That must have been really rough for you. I swear that's how people are today, man. Like, man, that inconvenience to you, I'm sure that had nothing in comparison to that panic attack she experienced. Maybe don't put Molly's in someone's fucking drink, you idiot. I've had Molly. It's a strong substance. If it were to suddenly hit me and I were not aware that I was taking it, I would probably freak the fuck out. Anyway, yeah, so now we're with the friends. We go to the fucking Terrifier. Sweet opportunity to throw that in there, which is a carnival fucking little maze, like, you know, those Halloween things that you go through with the animatronics and whatnot. And dude gets his dick cut off while he's pissing outside. Obviously, you see it coming from a mile away, and then that's it. Like, he literally, like, he gets stabbed in the dick and gets his dick literally torn off. And then, like I said, he's just left there screaming. Like, and then the girl gets stabbed in the leg or something and then runs away. And then Art doesn't deal with the guy laying there screaming. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. You had a dude laying here screaming to finish off. You could have killed him in a brutal manner and, like, sat here and kept torturing him. But instead, I don't even know if he lived or not, because we never went back to him. Fuck that. We got to get to torturing the woman. So Art, I guess, just leaves this guy bleeding out. If you're a dude, you're lucky, I guess. I mean, look, he got his dick cut off, right? Like, that's horrible. But what I'm saying is it was quick in comparison to the next scene where the girl gets brutalized for like 5 minutes, gets her fucking face caved in, chest caved in, fucking chest torn open, heart torn out, all this shit. And this guy just gets a quick little dick cut off, and then he's left there screaming. And then Art just leaves him there. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird that, like, yeah, you mainly, your torture victims mainly seem to be women. The guys go quick. It's a quick head cut off, quick dick cut, let them bleed out. We'll just leave them sitting there. But with the women, it's let's torture her for 15 minutes despite human anatomy fucking existing. Because again, the girl in the bathroom would have died way before she actually did. Like when he tears the heart out, it's still beating. Brother, her head is crushed in and her chest is crushed in and her fucking intestines are on the floor. Her heart would not still be beating. God damn. Like, either ignorance or mean-spirited. You're either torturing your victims for a long amount of time because you're ignorant and... Sorry, my shit randomly started recording. What I was saying was, basically, is like... Like, I love brutal scenes, I love carnage candy, but it just takes me out of it whenever the victim clearly should have died 5 minutes ago and somehow they're still alive just for the sake of you dragging out the kill. It's either ignorant to human anatomy or it's just mean-spirited at that point. And, yeah, I don't know. That I'm probably gonna catch flack for saying that, but like, dude, like, you wouldn't live that long, so either come up with slower, more creative, brutal ways to kill people, or what? Because just showing me 1,000 different ways to crush someone's skull, or fucking rip their fucking face off, or open up their ribs, like, we've seen it all before, you know, like, at the end of the day, the practical effects look really good, but you gotta give me like something believable, like the bedroom scene. Oh, and Art came to that girl's house for candy, and she said, you know, basically, I don't give candy to adults, you're too old, which is stupid, but he was being creepy, so whatever. She slams the door. Then he keeps knocking, right? And then she's like, so if I give you candy, you'll leave me alone? And then he says yes. And then she sees all of the saws and shit in his bag. And then I shit you not, does not bother and calling the cops. She just looks out her blinds to make sure he leaves, because surely he won't come back later. She's safe now. And doesn't bother calling the cops. I fucking hate, like, nobody would be that stupid. I'm sorry, Damien. Nobody would be that dumb. Like, just take that encounter out of the movie. Like, it's shit like that fat that you could have trimmed off, because that did nothing for the movie. If anything, it just pissed me off because it made no sense. It made no logical sense for that scene to happen and her not call the cops or what the fuck ever. You could have literally just had Art break in and that encounter never happened. Like, anyway, yeah. So we get to where they're the final two, the brother and what's her face, the mom gets shot. I don't know where my video cut out at. Like, yeah, the mom's shot. We're through that. I don't even think the lead character knows that her mom is dead yet. I don't even think she ever finds out. And I'll talk about that in a second. But so basically, she gets knocked out, and then Art, for the first time ever, decides not to kill her and starts chasing her brother, and then she wakes up, grabs his bat of nails, and hits him in the head once, and leaves it in his head, of course, instead of bashing it 1,000 fucking times like you should, just leaves it in his head one time. And then it doesn't kill him, and then he gets the upper hand, and puts her through a lot of shit, stabs her with the blade, kicks her into a water tank, and then she dies, and then somehow her sword brings her back to life, so like she's the real Valkyrie or something. I don't know. I don't know the rules to this universe because they don't really fucking answer it, but whatever the fuck I guess is convenient for the plot that day, I guess is what goes here. they'll just make it up as they go and explain it in the next movie. That to me is lazy writing. I'm sorry. And yeah, she comes back to life. She kills Art. I wish it was a more dragged out kill. It would be nice to see Art get the shit beat out of him and get killed, but it's just a quick head chop off. Of course, right? Because, I mean, you know, God forbid we torture Art the Clown who's been torturing everybody. I would fucking be killing that motherfucker slow as hell. And let me tell you, like, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna kill somebody slowly, you can't just go straight for the arms. It's like Billy Butcher said in the fucking goddamn show. He was completely right. They'll go straight in shock. You gotta start small. You gotta start with the fingers. You gotta, like, work your way up, bro. Like, the bitch staying alive just to say mom was so just like, yeah, whatever, Damien. Like, you just so want to kill a woman so bad. Anyway, I didn't like it. It's not my, I don't really think Art is scary. Like, I haven't seen him go up against, like, he got his ass kicked by, what's her face? She was a badass character. I think him making her a badass character was like him trying to put a little band-aid on the fact only women get tortured and try to be like, no, actually, women, she's badass. See, she lived, so just ignore all that torture. Like, nah, dude. Like, Harvey Weinstein would be proud, bro. I don't know. I didn't really care for it. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a dad now. Like I said, horror movies just don't hit the same. But, like, I don't know. When a death scene, it was just too, the bedroom one, like, it's just too unbelievable to me. Like, no, you would not be alive. That, like, whatever. Yeah, she kills Art the Clown, and then the little girl grabs his head, which is obviously talking to her. And instead of killing the little girl, they just let her walk off. And then we get the end credits, and it's the weirdest music ever. Like, fucking 80s music. Like, I don't think it's for me. I don't. Dude, I don't think he's gonna be a new horror icon. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if enough people like it, maybe he becomes a new horror icon. Do I think of him in the same light as I do Chucky and Michael and Jigsaw? No, not really, but that's just because I'm hard to impress anymore. We've seen it all, you know? Like, and that sucks. That just sucks for movie creators as it is. We've seen it all, so you gotta be more creative. And while this is definitely brutal as fuck, that's not being creative. And when half of the brutal kills are so unbelievable because the person is still alive, despite literally fucking having no blood left in their body, like, it just takes me out of it. I think they did do a good job at telling a story, kind of. I mean, I don't understand the rules of this universe. I'm sure Terrifier 3 will answer some more, but like I said, that's lazy writing. That's making shit up as you go to basically have any plot convenience at hand. Hey, we're not going to fully explain the rules because we don't know what the rules are, but we just know that we want Valkyrie to come back to life, and we want Art to come back to life, and we'll just keep kind of explaining things as we go. We'll just use it as, like, it's just a way to make your fucking writing easier, you know, to answer it in the next movie. That's how that sword brought her back to life, which is lazy writing in my opinion. I think, yeah, I mean, the dialogue was a little bit better, the acting was better, but I don't know. It's still the same shit you've seen 1,000 times, just with a mime, and he does some really brutal fucking kills. You can see that in Saw. There's like nothing in here that, like, I don't know. People act like it's the grossest shit they've ever seen in their lives. And I just, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I've seen some shit. And I feel like there's some scenes in Saw that definitely rival this. So, like, I don't know. The practical effects are good. It looks real as fuck. I will give them props for that. There's a couple shots where, meh. But the bedroom scene, for the most part, looked real. But again, I got taken out of it Because, like, no, by the time he goes and grabs the salt, this bitch is having a heart attack and dying. Like, I don't think you understand shock. And take a fucking anatomy class, Damien, please, because, like, if Terrifier 3 is just more 10-minute long torture scenes of, like, somebody losing 30 pints of blood when the body only has 10, like, no, dude, I don't think that that's creative. Yes, I know that you can fucking break a bone this many times, and I don't know, man. Like, just not the most creative kills in the world to me. You're just ripping a girl, like, it's all shit we've seen, just compiled, you know? You ripped a girl's arm off, then you fucking ripped her scalp off, then you cut her open, then you put salt in her wounds. Wow, never seen that done before. Like, you just put it all in one clip. That's all it is. That's why everybody's freaking out about it. That, and I guess the practical effects. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why this series is so popular. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's mediocre at best. The kills are a little bit too unbelievable. Like I said, my favorite kill in the series so far has been the one where dude gets stabbed in the head and dude gets his head cut off in the first one. That looked real as fuck. That was actually a believable kill. But, like, the hacksaw scene, like, the bitch is still screaming when the saw is right here. She would be so dead. Like, there's no way she'd still be alive, and she's obviously a mannequin at that point, too. So, like, whenever he gets to the head, like, right here, and she's barely put together, like, it's clearly a mannequin. And then in the second one, yeah, the bedroom scene, I think it's cool that, you know, the final girl wins, and if the third movie just kills her off instantly, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. Like, if they just literally, like, kill her off and that's it, I'm gonna be kind of mad. I'm hoping they're setting up this, like, war, like, she's, like, the real Valkyrie, and she's gonna be, like, a real problem for art moving forward. And, you know, won't just be fucking killed off in the beginning of the next movie and then we carry on. And just because you killed a kid in your movie doesn't mean you're pushing the boundaries or making a horror movie. Just killing a human being on camera doesn't make you, like, as how do I word it? Just killing somebody brutally on camera doesn't make your horror movie good. Like, it doesn't. This movie was as average as it gets. Yeah, with on a little on the bloodier side. I don't know, man. I feel like Billy Butcher would whoop Art the Clown's ass. That's how I feel about it. That's my review. A lot of you are gonna disagree with it. I don't really give a fuck. I feel like I wasted my time watching it. And that's why I haven't seen it until now, because it didn't really look that interesting to me. Like, I don't know. I feel bad for movie makers these days because it's all been done so many times before. You just, I don't know. You got a hard job because every idea that you can think of has been done before, and the slasher genre is something that is, God, been done so many different times. So to come up with some uniqueness and to put a new icon out there is big. And do I consider Art the Clown an icon, like up there with the greats? No, I don't. I don't think the third movie is gonna change my mind on that either. And the whole lore shit, like, I'm telling you, it's just a lazy plot device. Them not answering questions is so in the next movie it can be conveniences, right? Like, them not explaining why the sword brought what's-her-face back to life is just because they can just, at any point, oh, the sword brings her back to life. We don't have to explain why. We have that in our back pocket. Oh, Art comes back to life after being shot. We're not going to explain why, because, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's lazy writing. You're just making shit up as you go. And, like, the rules of this universe make no sense to the viewer, and they're clearly just gonna be like, I don't know if the third one's gonna answer more questions. Probably not. You're probably just going to, like I said, make shit up at your own convenience. This character died, so now all of a sudden the sword can bring her back to life. We don't know why. We won't explain why, but we'll explain it in the next movie. Yeah, because like that's just laziness is what that is. That's making shit up on the spot is what that is. Anyway, it was definitely better than Terrifier 1. And it does make me understand Terrifier 1 better and what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a showcase of art, not two characters that we care about. We weren't supposed to care about these characters, and I get that now. That doesn't make me want to rewatch it, though, because, like I said, it's still a bad movie. Every fucking cliche ever, and the dialogue is horrible, and the acting is horrible. Like, it is a bad movie. I'm sorry. The first one is fucking bad. The second one is better written. It is better acted. It is better character development. It's a better movie. But I just feel like it's an average movie, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. So, that's it. That's my review. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry, Damien. You know, like, I'm sorry. Torture a guy every once in a while, and maybe I'll think differently. Maybe in the new movie, I heard that the new movie is way worse than anything in this one, but like, I don't know. There's only so many skulls you can crush and so many chests you can rip open until you just, like, you're not impressed with it. Like, if that's all you got is shock value, dude, then you got nothing. But you got cool practical effects. I will give you that. Very good job on the practical effects. Anyway, like the writing had to be the easiest process in the world. Like, I see that it's written and directed by Damien. I'm telling you, dude, let somebody else write it. Stick with the directing. I think he does a good job directing, especially in the second one. But let somebody else write it, because I'm just gonna keep regurgitating the same shit. Like, I sitting here trying to tell you what happens in the movie is hard, because it's just like, I don't care. Like, it's the same shit we've seen 1,000 times before. Fucking family. Person gets tracked down. One by one. The Valkyrie aspect of it's cool. The supernatural aspect of it's cool. But I feel like it's more of a on-the-spot plot convenience device than anything. I don't like the fact that it's prolonged torture scenes that you physically wouldn't live through, that are just for the sake of being prolonged torture scenes. That takes the believability out of it for me, which makes me not like the scene. Like, make a brutal kill scene, sure, but, like, make it believable. A bitch isn't gonna live through all that. And torture a guy every once in a while. Like, you literally left a guy on the concrete screaming, and we never went back to him. We thought, nope, gotta get right back to torturing the woman. We'll make sure to spend all of our budget money on fucking bashing her brains in, not his. And, yeah, the little subtle things like that are kind of weird to me, but whatever. I'll probably catch a lot of flack for saying that shit, but I don't care. I'm posting it anyway. This review series has been pretty fucking average so far. It's meh. I don't think he's up there with the greats at all, but whatever. If this generation disagrees, this generation disagrees. At the end of the day, it's keeping this generation, the newer generation, hooked on horror movies, and at the end of the day, I can at least appreciate that. How about that? Thanks for watching.